start. What did we just watch as far as the half court stuff?
Drive and dish, or as Mark Boyle calls it, dine and dash. Now, Drive and Dish is an initiative. We're in year number 3 to address food insecurity in Indiana, and it's been very successful so far. Clay South from USA Upstar is one of our big donors. He's a great friend. He's a guy I met at the airport in passing 2.5 years ago, and we just casually talked a little bit. He said, "Hey, if you're ever going to do anything charity-wise or whatever, I'd love to get together." And we exchanged numbers, and it was about a year later we reconnected, and Corey Wilson has helped put this together. We've done a lot of work on it, and today it was a thing where Clay had offered a half-court shot challenge and up to 8 makes for a $200,000 cap, and we have 10 guys shoot 8 shots. We had 80 chances to make 8 half-court shots, and the guys got it a little over halfway through. So I was very confident headed into it that that we would do well with this, that the guys would do well, because I see a lot of these guys working on these shots. And the draft of players to do it was interesting. I collected information on who was good at this and who did a lot of practicing, and so it's all worked out.
How many shots were made? How many?
Well, the cap was 8 at $25,000 each for a total of a $200,000 donation, which is awesome. I mean, it's really important. So, I'm a contributor. Steve Simon is a contributor. The Pacers Foundation is a contributor, and we're always looking for more partners that are interested in helping address food insecurity in Marion County and the state of Indiana. So, anybody out there, please hit me up. Love to talk to you.
Welcome to the second half. Can you give me your thoughts on just the challenge your team faces these next couple of games coming up? But of course, the main focus obviously to get the postseason for you guys.
Well, we're headed into the last third of the season. It's no longer halfway anymore. We've got 4 very tough home games coming up, starting with Memphis. Memphis is a smash mouth team. They're physical, they're tough. They try to intimidate with hard physical play, and you got to be ready. They play a very physical brand of basketball, and they play fast and they hit hard. And so we've spent a lot of time getting ready for that. And it's a great test for us, especially coming out of the break.
Real quick, Jarris obviously was dealing with the lower back at the end of right before the break. He's good.
The fact that you're going to see Zach Edey tomorrow, I know there'll be a lot of Purdue fans. So give me your thoughts on just what he brings to the table for a team like Memphis here coming up against you guys.
Well, fortunately, we didn't see him last time we played these guys. He was dealing with some kind of a health issue, and so now he's back playing, and he's another guy that adds to their physicality and attitude. And Zach Edey's a guy that I have great respect for. Watched his career at Purdue very closely, and I know he'll get a warm reception.
Is there one thing that you kind of told the guys in this back end of the season here that you kind of want them to really focus in on here for you guys?
Well, we really have to lean into the basics. Possession of the ball is key, so we've got to take care of the ball, we've got to rebound the ball, and our transition defense is something that we're constantly working on. So those areas will all be tested against Memphis.
I know it's been a whirlwind for you. How nice was it to have a week to kind of catch your breath a little bit?
It was good just to, unwind a little bit, get some sleep, catch up on a little bit of sleep, and then regroup with the guys, man. It was good to get a little time off.
You picked up Miles' spot the last few games. How did you think you did? And I guess how much is everybody looking forward to welcoming him back?
I'm looking real forward to welcoming Miles back, man. He's a big contributor to this team, man. He's been here for 10 long years, and he knows the system, he knows his game, and he knows the coaching staff, man. It's great to have that piece back. And I feel like I told him I'm going to hold it down while you were out. I feel like I held it down the best of my abilities. And I know I could do more. And my teammates were happy with me, and I hope they continue to be happy with me as we try to close out this season.
Looking at Memphis, it'll be the first game for Zach Edey to play back here. I'm sure he'll have a lot of fans, but just basketball-wise, what's the challenge against someone that big if you're guarding him?
Just like you said, someone that's big. He's very physical down there in the block. So, we got to bring the fight to him, man. We got to make sure we're ready out there because they have a really great team along with him, and we just got to make sure we go out there with the right mindset.
Do you remember your first game after IU that you played at the Fieldhouse and kind of the response you got?
Oh yeah, I do, man. It was a lot. It was a lot of love. I remember there. I think it was in Washington. They introduced me, and I was the only one they didn't boo. So I was happy of that one.
What sense can you get of just how rejuvenated everybody is? I mean, obviously you guys had a tough travel stretch leading up to the break. What kind of value can you already see just in the time off for everybody?
Yeah, I think it did well for us, man. Everybody's got their legs back. Everybody's got their mind right. Everybody was itching to get back on the court yesterday, so that was a great thing right there. And everybody seems like they kept their bodies up to date as well too. So I think we're all itching to get back out there and play and finish the season strong.
What have you got to work out a little bit with Jaleel Okafor so far, and what's your thoughts on him and what he can bring to you as a third center, just some more depth behind you guys?
He's a veteran. He's a veteran guy that's been in the league for a long time. He's played in big games before. It's in his blood. It's in his repertoire, man. He gives us great IQ, great energy, and real fundamentally sounded out there in the basketball court, man. It's amazing to see how well he picked up our offense and defense so quickly.
Last few games there have been a couple of big comebacks. What's your role from an enthusiasm, energy standpoint when the team is down to get everybody back into the game?
Well, it doesn't change. The energy and the effort still has to be there throughout any time. We all know the basketball game is a long game, man. It's a long 48 minutes. It's ups and downs, but you have to make sure you keep that energy as much as you can out there with your guys, so that way, whenever we get down big and we come back, we can maintain that. And whenever we get up big, we got to make sure we maintain that as well. So it doesn't change from one side to the other. It's about maintaining it and keeping it up.
You like that role, though, being one that talks up in those huddles?
Oh, yeah, of course. I love being that person. I give a lot of pride to myself just giving my energy to my teammates and them giving it back for me. And being here has been such a great opportunity to be able to do that.
When it's come to starting or not starting, basically, you and Rick have certainly worked a lot on your efficiency as an offensive player, making quick decisions to shoot, to pass, to move the ball. Does anything change as far as your offensive approach when you're operating more in the second
Anything
unit?
changes as far as what?
As far as, are you trying to move the ball as quick, or do you look for more opportunities to get isolation situations or attack off the bounce? Do you kind of go more into your general instincts, or do you more follow kind of what he's been pushing you to do over the last
I would say just my natural instincts. I'm saying I'm a scorer, so the first thing I'm trying to do is score the ball. But I feel like I've been better, playmaking and involving my teammates.
How have you just approached this move? Like obviously you're going to be playing with both units. You're going to get time with the starters. How have you just kind of approached this change, and what are you trying to take from the experience as a starter to apply to this?
For me, it's the same thing. Just whether I start or not, come off the bench, I still got the same mentality. And at the end of the day, we have 29 games left. Everybody's trying to win. You know what I'm saying? And we're trying to go into the playoffs and have a deep run again. And I feel like everybody has the same mindset, and that's pretty much all we need. Forward.
How do you think you become a better player because of just the way that you've adapted your game over the last year? How do you think that's made you better as a player overall?
Being hurt obviously helped me a lot. Just seeing the game, different perspective. And that's the timing. March 9 is when I got hurt, you know what I'm saying? And we have 29 games left. Hopefully I get to stay healthy and play the rest of the season and go into the playoffs. So just being out there and not being able to play helped me see the game in a different way. And every time I step on the court, I'm trying to play like it was my last game playing.
You had to watch a lot of those games that meant so much last year. How excited are you for being a part of it now this season?
Super excited. Can you tell right now my face is very lightened up. But, I think every time I get to step on the court, like I said, it's a new opportunity, just to go out there and prove myself that I belong there. Not only belong, but I'm a great player. That's who I want to be seen as.
team-wise, Tyrese mentioned yesterday that top 4 seed's a goal, that home court advantage, and I know there's a long way to go, but is that something that should be spoken and kind of brought up and reminded?
For sure, no doubt. I mean, we are the 4th seed right now, and we have a beautiful opportunity in front of us, being able to remain a top 4 seed, and we're trying to be first, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, just being top 4 is definitely going to help us a lot in the playoffs, and I think it'll help us, long term as well.
How helpful was the break for you guys? And obviously, it had been a tough thing as far as travel was concerned leading up to the break. Do you feel like everybody kind of came back rejuvenated and kind of recharged after?
Sure, no doubt. It's a long season, I think the break was much needed, and I feel like everybody's come back with a great vibe, great energy, and it's a great mindset. We had an incredible win in Washington, and we were able to set the tone, set the pace for the rest of the season.
You've had these comebacks from kind of big deficits. Does that help you if you're ever in that situation again? You don't want to be there, but that you can rally if you're down.
No doubt. I mean, we've been in, like you said, we're not trying to be in those situations, but I feel like it's nothing new for us, to be in those situations, and we're still a young group. We have a lot of young players, so going through that right now, and hopefully, not having to go with them in the future is definitely going to build the team.
Welcome back. How
sir.
would you evaluate your experience over the weekend?
It was good, just family time. Obviously, there's a lot going on, so. But I think, to me, I just feel like, obviously, the recognition is amazing, and I think like the actual weekend is like my family enjoys it more than me. I feel like I'm all over the place, and they get to experience all these different things. So it was good overall.
How did it feel to be able to represent this great organization, to be out there among other talented players like yourself?
Yeah, it means everything. I think obviously for my journey, like just like I always say, it looked a little dark for me out there, in some places, and I think to come here to a new organization with just so much support, so much enthusiasm, and like, they want me to be the best that I can be, and to be able to represent the top organization and get to All-Star, and obviously hopefully first of many, and just getting texts from everyone, and the owner, Simon was Herb Simon was out there at the All-Star weekend. Like, I mean, it's awesome, it's great, and I'm just so grateful.
Well, welcome back to the second half. You guys have a tough stretch coming up. Give me your thoughts as you approach this critical weekend, but also knowing what's ahead for you guys, hopefully getting into the postseason.
Yeah, no, I think it's some great matchups against great teams, and we just got to be locked in. First part of the season is over. We just got to think about that second part, and we know that coming off the break, is whoever got that energy, whoever got that edge, from the beginning, we'll be able to get these games, which are super important games for us at home, in front of our crowd. Just trying to, put on a good display out there on the floor, and play as hard as we can. And yeah, we know how tough this stretch is going to be, but I think we'll be ready for it.
Tyrese said yesterday the goal is a top 4 seed. Is that sort of a common goal shared amongst the players that people are talking about?
Yeah, you want to get home court advantage, right? That's the, being the playoff, that's what you want to do. And we should be aiming for that, that should be our goal. And I think from what we did last year, we want to improve from that. And I think that looks like improvement if we get to those spots.
You talked about it being just a family thing, basically. Who all did you bring out, family-wise? And do you always bring that much family out to All-Star games, or did you bring more this time?
I just bring my siblings and stuff. I think it's always good for them to, feel like they're part of the journey. They're always part of the journey, but I think those moments just gives it a little bit more significance and just to be around, and so yeah, it was a good time.
Was it different anyway this time? I mean, obviously representing a different team, but I mean, did you take in the experience any differently than you had?
Nah, I think obviously I missed it because I feel like I should have been there before, a couple more times, than I have, but it was good being around great players and from different teams. I think sometimes, it might be a little awkward because you don't know how to approach it, but some of the guys are just great. And some of the guys that you've seen and they play against like all the time, I think we have great convos and just having fun at the end of the day. Like, we're doing the same job, and obviously we're competitive and want to beat each other. But once we're out there in that environment, just have fun, enjoy the moment.
I know you got some of these questions already, but what did you think of the format? What was it like for you guys in particular having game break in between and all that time to sit around?
You know my response to that, man.
Right.
I'm just here, man. I'm happy to be a part of it. I'm nowhere near one of the decision makers. I'm just here, bro. Like, it is what it is.
Last few games you haven't had Miles. How does his return help sort of complete your starting five and allow you to do what you want to do?
No, it's going to be great having Miles out there. Obviously, TB gave us great minutes, but I think Miles being on the starting five, being back in his position and open up a lot more things for us and again just get TB back to his natural position that he's been amazing at. And having Miles do his thing too. So hopefully, we get some momentum. And I think February, like people will look at the different months and talk about that, but I think we just got to continue to work on being consistent, continue to improve our defense, which I thought we did. And obviously, it's a long season, so you're going to have some peak and valleys, but as long as we just stay locked into that, and again, having Miles back is a big part of that.
What's the value of having these home games here to start things off in the second half, would you say?
It's great. It's awesome. I mean, it was rough out there for us going from Paris to come in, going on the road on a West Coast trip. Like, it's been rough. So I think being back in your own bed, being back at home in front of our fans, hopefully we catch some good momentum and with some good games. Just some like those are always great. I thought we've been pretty good on the road. Like they had in the beginning of the season it wasn't great, but we kind of caught up a little bit, and it'll be awesome to be home now and get a little home stretch.